is projectile. So briefly about a projectile and a projectile motion. A body thrown into air with some initial velocity making an angle theta with the horizontal surface of the earth is called projectile. Here angle theta is other than 90 degrees. It is a condition. So when a body is thrown into air with some initial velocity, so direction of velocity should be at an angle which is other than 90 degrees with the horizontal surface of the earth is projectile. So here the body may be thrown into air from the ground or thrown from some height into air, but in both cases angle is must be not equal to 90 degrees. So you can see here in the figure, suppose this person is throwing a ball into air with initial velocity u. It is the direction of the velocity, it is the horizontal direction, it is horizontal to the surface of earth. So between them angle, this angle is other than 90 degrees. It travels like that. It travels in two dimension, that is x and y coordinates are required to describe this motion. It is traveling along the x-axis and it travels up to this point, that is here vertical direction, along the y-axis, along the x-axis. So it is a two-dimensional motion. Now, so here it is written, the body may be the body may be thrown into air from the ground or thrown from some height into air. So here you can see that example. So on the top of the building a person is there who is throwing the stone into air in this direction. It is the direction of velocity and this is the horizontal line. It is the horizontal surface of the earth, parallel to it this is. So between them angle is there theta, which is other than 90 degrees. Then so the body thrown into air is example for projectile. So examples for projectile is, so a cricket ball thrown by the fielder, or a bullet fired from the gun, or a stone thrown into air with an angle that is other than 90 degrees with the surface, with the horizontal surface of the earth. So a javelin thrown by the athlete is example for projectile. So now motion of the projectile. Motion of the projectile is a two-dimensional motion. It is also called motion in a plane. So to describe the motion of the projectile, two coordinates are required, that is x and y. So because it travels distance along the x-axis and also height along the y-axis. So two dimensions are required to, it is a 2D motion or two-dimensional motion. Two coordinates are required to describe the motion of the projectile. What is the path of the projectile? What is path of the projectile? The path followed by the projectile. So you can see, so the path followed by, the way followed by the projectile, the way followed by the projectile. The path followed by the projectile is called trajectory. What is trajectory means? The path followed by the projectile is called trajectory. It is in parabolic shape. Now, so in the case of two-dimension motion, or velocity or acceleration or anything, so velocity is resolved into two components, horizontal component, vertical component. Horizontal component of velocity is taken as Vx, vertical component of velocity is taken as Vy. So here you can see at this point, so it is the direction of the velocity, initial velocity u. So it is a horizontal component of velocity ux, it is a vertical component of velocity uy. So horizontal component of velocity is always taken as u cos theta, vertical component of velocity is always taken as u sin theta. So velocity is resolved into two components in the two-dimensional motion, that is horizontal component, vertical component. Not only velocity, so other physical quantities of the bodies in two-dimensional motion also resolved into two components, that is vertical component and horizontal component. So here, so Vx is equals to V cos theta, Vy is equals to, so V sin theta, or Ux is equals to U cos theta, and also Uy is equals to U sin theta. Next to acceleration. What about acceleration? Along the horizontal direction, no force is acting on the projectile. That is why the body moves with uniform velocity. That is why acceleration is zero. When the velocity is a uniform or constant, acceleration is a zero. So along the horizontal direction, no force is acting on the projectile. That is why it moves with a uniform velocity. When the velocity is a uniform, acceleration is 0. But along the y-axis, along the vertical direction, acceleration of the projectile is taken as acceleration due to gravity. So that is when it moves along the trajectory. So in the vertical direction, gravitational force is acting on it. So due to action of gravitational force, the body will get acceleration, which is equal to acceleration due to gravity. So along the y-axis or along the vertical direction, the projectile has acceleration which is equal to acceleration due to gravity. This is due to gravity. And along the horizontal direction, no force is acting on the projectile. That is why it moves with a uniform velocity, so acceleration is a 0. That is why acceleration is a 0, and here acceleration is a z. So these are the some basic information related to projectile. So in the coming topic, so we can explain projectile related topics. So what about the topics related to projectile?